guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Fuzz Off. I'm your host, Wayne Riddell, and this is the co-host, Vape Lord, Joey Riddell.
What up?
Give him a sick vape, dude. Oh, God, that's nice. So, man, it's been a crazy year, huh? We've been busy so far this year.
So, it's been insane to think that, like, we ended up writing and recording a new album all within, like, what was that, like 2-3 month period?
Yeah, it was pretty. That's like the quickest we've ever wrote a record.
Yeah, for real. It was a cool process too. Like, we ended up like writing them all in that hot little room of mine.
Similar to this hot room.
Yeah, similar to this hot room.
The whole process, man, took us about the course of probably about a week in Burbank.
Yeah, so we started out with pre-production, 2 days with Paul Fig in his studio. That was like 20 hours over 2 days. We were in 606 for 2 days. We recorded all the tracks, and then we finished the week out with Paul Fig at his pad. So Paul Fig's a producer and engineer. So I think he's did engineering more than he did producing to start, right? So
yeah, he started out working out.
The list of stuff he's engineered is insane. It's like huge.
I think he was started out at Sound City. He was working on the Sound City board, a lot of stuff. And, like, the cool thing is when we recorded this record, Paul was super cool, like, and familiar with this old board. Like, it was an old friend of his, which was cool, you know?
Yeah, that's true. So, we recorded at Studio 606. Yeah. Dude, what was your favorite part of recording at 606, man?
I think my favorite part of recording Studio 606 is, as a music fan, is coming in and first seeing all David Grohl's amps against this wall, like just maybe 50 or 60 amps or so, just vintage amps, all of his guitars, all the drums, and then you're not even in the studio. This is just the outside. As you're walking in, you're walking through this hall of just gold records, platinum records, of all the records that Foo Fighters sold, all the records Nirvana sold, stuff from Then Crooked Vultures, stuff from Nine Inch Nails when he played on that record.
Yeah, it's insane.
And if that's not crazy enough, as you get into studio, you get to see this iconic board. I remember watching the Sound City documentary, all the bands that played on this, all the great records that came out of this. You're standing in front of this board knowing that we're going to make a piece of music out of this. I mean, I got a chance to play on this board, even if it becomes nothing, you know?
Dude, but it just sounded amazing. Yeah. Like, the whole thing sounded amazing. Like, you know, he had like 3 guitar amps plugged into patch boards, into this crazy things, and speakers going back to other rooms, and like, it was just a really surreal way of recording our tracks.
Yeah, a lot of the gear we used, there was actually the room mics they used was the same room mics they used on the Them Crooked Vultures record.
Actually, so I got to use a Ampeg SVT
owned by David Grohl.
Yeah, owned by David Grohl. I'm gonna assume that it's the same one that was used when they recorded Them Crooked Vultures. Yeah. And, you know, that's just, I'm gonna believe that. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. It's true for me.
One of my favorite moments too is when Orgo was setting up his drums, playing with his snare, and it wasn't sounding right. And the tech goes, "Dude, that drum sounds crappy. Use one of Dave's." And Orgo's face was like, because Orgo is a huge music nerd fan, kind of like us.
Dude, the whole thing was just surreal and amazing.
You know, and a lot of that magic, you could feel it in that room. And I think a lot of that went into making this record, how this record sounds. So any award that Nirvana won, any award that Foo Fighters won, is sitting right on the console. You could pick it up, you can hold it. The funniest thing about David Grohl...
Don't tell him you did that.
What?
No,
I know. Don't tell Dave we picked up stuff.
Don't tell Dave.
I don't put up with that bullshit. That guy can fuck off.
You know, he's got all of his guitars there. You can pick up his guitars and play them in the studio. And he just doesn't care about that stuff.
You know what my favorite parts was?
What's that?
Those swords.
Oh, yeah.
The John Popper swords.
Oh, yeah.
So apparently John Popper comes and records there. And whenever he shows up, one time he showed up and he brought everybody like these giant fucking swords for everyone. And so there's just swords in the studio. Like, and like so it's like all these like guitars and then just swords. We got this picture's pretty awesome here.
Oh, yeah. This was kind of neat. When you'd walk upstairs in Studio 606, I had to use the bathroom. And as I got up there, I went to, take a piss. And I noticed off to the, I think it would be my left, there was a moon man there. It was just sitting by the toilet, which was, I believe, it was for MTV's
MTV Music Award.
the MTV Music Award. And the cool thing about David Grohl, what you immediately know how he's such a cool dude, is that it's not in a case somewhere. It's not like treasured. It's next to the toilet, holding the toilet paper. And so.
Right, dude. I just remember sitting there taking a dump and going, man, David Grohl's probably taking a dump here. So we got some like pictures while we're at this place. You can like show some of this. You know, here's a picture of the board and what it looks like. And then this is pretty cool too. So.
Giant picture of David Grohl, like.
So there's like a huge joke to this actually. It was
So he said if he ever wanted to make it, he said he would always love to have a picture of himself in a giant smoking jacket in his studio. And I guess he said it in passing to the guys in Foo Fighters, some of the touring guys that were there with him.
Yeah, they said, so I remember him telling me that they were in the studio in 606 and they were recording. Dave was like, you know, he's like super energetic, you know.
Fresh pot!
Fresh pot!
I guess he was like sitting there like working on something, he was thinking about something, and like all day long, this picture's been up in the studio and he hasn't seen it. And then he like turns around and he looks at it and he just starts laughing.
He goes, "What is that?"
Yeah. the whole like experience was super surreal, and the songs I think came out really cool. Talking about like pushing us to a different limit, right? Because like songwriting wise, we wrote them really quickly, but then you know we knew we were sending them to a producer, so it was like, okay, these got to be good.
It can't suck. This is the first time we ever got to use a producer, so
yeah.
A lot of times we produced our own stuff and our own ideas, and this record, it doesn't sound like anything we've ever done with Fuzz Evil. It's totally 100% different.
Well, I think that's what the producer's cool for, right? Like it's like getting someone else's take, who knows what they're talking about. It's just the guy at the show.
Yeah.
Hey man, you know it's great.
You guys need to have louder vocals.
Yeah.
Yeah. The crazy thing is when we first met Paul, and so he was like, "Yeah, man, you guys will be in between Alice in Chains and Slipknot," which
you're like,
you could tell some of the leftover and that vibe kind of really got into this record, you know? Like, I'm hearing some parts, and I hear some parts of Slipknot, and I hear some parts the way it kind of sounds from Alice in Chains. And it's
maybe a little Jewel.
Yeah. And we do have some tour dates coming up.
Here's a flyer.
Yeah, here's a flyer. Designed by Joey. Joey, why don't you tell them where we're playing, man?
No, I'm not going to tell them. They're going to read it themselves.
Yeah.
But just so you know, we're going to go all the way from Sierra Vista, go all the way up the coast, hit Seattle, come back around, Kalispell, Salt Lake City, and then Vegas.
We'll be donezo.
Yes, it'll be the 14th of September to the 23rd of September.
But we're really going to push the shit out of this record, so.
Yeah, dude.
That's kind of gross.
Tons of shit.
That's gross. That's, you know.
Yeah, that's not. We're going to be doing a loop all the way around the country. It should be pretty good.
West Coast, not the country.
Whatever, man.
Whatever.
Yeah.
He's the way to steal my thunder there, dick.
We got a new single out. It just got released from Metal Injection.
Hey, Joey, what is that single called?
That single is called Get It Together.
Nice. Get It Together. You can get it anywhere right now. All major digital retailers, Amazon, Google Play, iTunes.
I heard it's even going to be on a Spotify playlist.
What? That's crazy.
No, yeah, I'm serious.
Yeah, Loudwire is going to make a playlist with Get It Together on it. You can search it on Spotify, Loudwire. It'll probably be some sort of rock or stoner rock playlist. We do have the single on our Spotify. It's pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, if you look for new Fuzz Evil, you'll find it. The song's called Get It Together, with more to come out soon. So we got some lyric videos and other things that we've been working on that are all ready to go. So you can get those soon too.
Yeah, the closer we get to September 14th, you're going to see a lot more of this new record start coming out. Probably a whole stream, probably the week of somewhere. You know.
All right, so this is our channel.
This is our channel. So if you guys don't know, Fuzz Off, the main point of Fuzz Off is that we're huge Stoner, Doom, and Psych fans. Everything we cover on Fuzz Off is probably going to be something related to that. New records coming out, probably Doom charts coming out, new records from major bands like High on Fire. Just any of that content that's like that, it's going to come out on this channel. We're going to talk about it. It's kind of what we want to do, kind of our passion. And if you guys like that, if you're fans of that kind of music, please leave a comment. Please tell us what you want to cover. If you got a record, you're a stoner rock band, send us to it. We'll talk about it. You know, we'll listen to it. We'll give it a shot.
Leave us a comment. Tell us what you want us to talk about.
And most important, guys, subscribe so we can keep pushing this thing along. It totally helps us out.
Right? Or share it, too.
You know, on that, I tell you a little something special. On the outro, we'll play a little bit of Get It Together so you can kind of see what it's about.
Yeah.
It is. Listen to this guy. Vape Lord, Joy Riddell. Vape us out on the outro.